Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Renee Mehrra. Thank you so much for joining Zoom In with Renee. Today, my guests are going to talk about a Indian martial art that originated from the southern part of India, from Kerala in 3rd century BC. It's Kalaripayattu. Kalari means place of practice, and Payattu means fight and exercise. So today my guests are from Kalari Manoeuvre, which is a registered trust in Bangalore, India, and they are part of the International Dance Council with UNESCO in Paris. And they're going to tell me all about this ancient martial art that brings in so much of flexibility, concentration, especially for women these days. It's so very important to have some sort of a training in martial art. And Kalaripayattu goes back steeped in tradition. So joining me is Ramu Madanan, a lawyer by profession, namaste. And he is the co-founder of Kalari Manoeuvre with Chethna. She's an architect by profession. Namaste, and we have a student right behind both of them, and it's Agastya. Hello, Agastya, how are you? Namaskar. So tell us about this Asian martial art which came from Kerala, and somewhere we lost it, but you now reviving it because there's so much of flexibility in this with all those drills, and it's a combination of cardio exercises as well. So give us a little background on Kalaripayattu.
So, in fact, it's a self-defense form, a battlefield art form, which used to fight and settle the dispute between two landlords. That was the historic way Kalaripayattu was used. But then, of late, post-independence, we got an opportunity to revive it. And when Britishers were ruling India, it was banned.
They started learning secretly. This art form was banned during independence. Before independence, during the British rule, it was banned. And few of the teachers secretly they started teaching their offsprings at home. And slowly after independence, they started performing it it became a performing art more than a warfare. It became a performing art. But they still maintain the soul of the art form. But it was to a presentation extent, not to a fighting extent. Mm-hmm. That's how now what we see Kalaripayattu, which was a warfare, which is slowly getting into a performance.
Right.
And it is not a dance form. Actually, the movement of Kalaripayattu looks like a dance form, but it has its own martial implication and are having its deadly implications as well when we fight it out.
But yes, there's a lot of grace in the movement, yes. So it looks like a dance form.
It looks like a martial art. It looks like a dance, and that's the beauty of the movement. It has its hidden applicability in it, and the discovery of that is a journey of a warrior or a practitioner out of that graceful movement. And I think that's the answer.
So, who can learn this?
Traditionally, the minimum age is 7 years. And there is no upper limit. Anybody can learn who's interested in the art form.
But is it tough because better to learn in childhood? There's more flexibility.
It's very good to start early, but then age is no barrier as long as we're in the art form. We have people from 7 years until 55 years of age practicing this right now.
I see. How is it different from other martial arts? We're talking about Kung Fu or Jiu-Jitsu or Taekwondo. How does it stand out?
Kalaripayattu is believed to be mother of all martial arts. As we believe, it is migrated from India and it is taken by Bodhidharma, the monk. Migrated from India, that's a belief. And all other martial arts like karate, kung fu is originated from Kalaripayattu. This is what we have learned from the history. And how is it different if you ask? We would say Kalaripayattu is more of a self-development. It's not just form. We say we teach fighting but not to fight. So it's an overall development. Let's say if we look back to the days in Kerala where it was more prevalent. The kids were sent to Kalari centers at the age of 7 years. It was a customary practice to send them to Kalari centers like we were sent to school.
Hmm.
Yeah, was by the time they became, as they get into their teens, they are in a position to distinguish what is right and what is wrong. So it is more of a self development, a character building, and they know how to manage the obstacles in life. So that was the idea, behind sending to Kalari schools.
I see. Now I know that there are 4 phases in Kalaripayattu, and each stage or phase takes about 15 months to learn.
Yes, there are basically 4 stages, starting with the body control exercises. The first stage, which in Kalari terminology we say Meitari. Meitari means preparing the body to fight. It has various leaps, stances, postures, jumps, and all those. We learn like various fighting techniques and prepare our body, and we make ourselves fit to fight. And that for a period depends a candidate how long they take to grab. Each candidate it may differ. And on proficiency of the body preparatory stage, once get into the second stage, which is Koltari, which is mostly to do with the wooden weapons. There are 4 to 5 wooden weapons: a long stick, a short stick, a curved stick, or even the mace, gada. It is still used for fighting. And once they get through that phase of the wooden weapon fight, they get into the metal weapon. That's the third stage, which is Angatari. So metal is a sword and shield, long flexible sword, and the knife, dagger, and all those weapons. So the philosophy goes like, as we start from the wooden weapon, we reduce the fear within us.
I
And
see. Mhm.
metal weapon, you reduce fear again. And the fourth stage, you get into the free hand fight. Then you become weaponless. You don't need a weapon to fight, kind of a thing. That's where the fear in the candidate reduces over the time. And that's how it climbs, it elevates to the advanced level. Those are the
Right.
4. So to recall: Mepait, Metari, Koltari, Angatari, and Virumkai. Virumkai is free-handed techniques.
Right. So it takes several years before you actually got the
Yes.
expertise in it.
Yes. Yes.
And you, both of you, have won many championships and awards in Kalaripayattu.
Yes.
We were.
Now, yeah, and I know that you're in the location where Kalaripayattu. So share that demonstration with us, so our viewers know what it really is and how this martial art works.
That is, he's saluting before he starts the workout.
I see.
So there is something called oral commands. Vaitari. Vaitari is an oral command, as music is for dance. So Kalari has oral commands. So the master recites the commands and the students perform it.
Mm-hmm.
You just concentrate on the, it gives you to, I mean, it focus basically for the focus, and you have to listen to the commands and then you do it. As you miss, obviously you miss, I mean, not only in the kicks, in the further fights also. So you just listen to it and go ahead.
And that's how Kalaripayattu is termed a moving meditation.
I see.
Don't get to distract or think about anything else while we are inside a Kalari performing the exercises.
Very interesting. And then what does the second phase involve?
So the second phase is the Koltari, like we said, after body control exercises. Body control exercises will constitute kicks. Maybe we can show you a couple of animal postures also,
I
which
see.
basic in Kalaripayattu. And the entire form is based on 8 animals, mannerisms, Ashtavadivu. So we can showcase it to you few postures of that, which will give you a little more clarity
So
on it.
basically this Kalaripayattu, the whole fight form is derived from the observing the animals. So I guess all the fight forms are derived from animal movements and the way they attack and the way they use their muscles and their limbs. So the is being reproduced in this art form. We basically use those movements.
So walk us through some of those maneuvers.
Yeah, we'll showcase few of them. So basically, we'll be showing eight animal movements. That's like Gaja, it's elephant, Simha is lion, Ashwa, horse, Sarpa. I think I can tell and you can do the.
So in the sequence that you just spoke.
Yeah, that's the sequence. Then we'll be doing the Varaha, wild boar. Then Sarpa is a snake. Then Marjara, scat. Kukuda is rooster. And Matsya, fish. So we'll do this 8 movements and show it to you.
Okay. So this is the elephant? Then it moves on. Okay.
Ashwa, Varaha, Sarpa, Marjara, Kukuda, Matsya,
So it requires a lot of flexibility and a lot of practice and concentration. I can see that. So the first pose was the elephant one that you.
elephant one, Gaja. So it goes like this: Gaja, Simha, Ashwa, Varahangal, Sarpa, Marjara, Kukuda, Matsya.
So ends with the fish.
So Gaja, Ashwa, Varaha.
Right.
That is elephant, lion, horse, and wild boar. Sarpa, snake. Marjara, cat. Sarpa,
Right.
Marjara, rooster, and Matsya is fish pose.
So in actual combat or in actual challenging situation, the person has to figure out which pose is gonna safeguard him.
No, that's not the thing here.
No?
Sitting here in this postures, and we showed you there is a postures, the end of the postures we sit, whatever. That is where we gain strength on individual muscles, and thus we increase the stamina there. These are the very basics where the whole body is tuned.
Okay.
Plus animal postures, so where you gain strength for your individual. Every posture has a different, in every posture, different muscles are developed. It is concentrated on different muscles, different movements. So you develop that. And after that, we have something called movements. So the extension of this postures.
Okay.
Gaja, this is just a
So like when you're in a situation, you're not using any of those
So
postures.
I'll put it this way: the intent is to invoke one's reflex from within. So idea of each postures we practice or the entire movement what we practice is to invoke the inherent reflex of each individual. So that was designed 3,000 years ago by legends. So it has the ability to invoke our natural reflex. So the idea of regular practice is to sharpen our reflex, and so that, and of course, when we sit in Gaja, of course, we won't be at that lower level while fighting. Its application is when we raise ourselves up and extend our arms and legs. Almost that's how the fight occurs. But and to gain enough strength and energy, we practice at the lower stance and we imbibe the animal mannerism to get more stronger and grounded. And that stability. And this answers another question which you have asked earlier: how is it different from other martial art forms? Other martial arts are seen more, standing.
Yes.
focus, it's very grounded, it's low the stance.
Mhm.
And to give you an example, we are sitting in the Gaja position here.
Yeah.
Sideways, my rib cage is all covered by the thighs. And from the front, I have my arms to protect myself. And I can go into any other position, forward or backward, to defend myself or to offend somebody. So that way, all my vital organs are covered within this position. And to give an attack or to defend myself, I can swiftly move from this direction to any other direction. Move, or it gives me more stability and speed when
So
I'm
when
grounded.
one is attacked, so
Yes.
you're using different movements that are combined with postures. That was my question earlier as well.
Okay, okay. So I'll just give you a demonstration on how, let's say, how Geja may work, the Geja posture when it comes to applicability.
Okay.
So you got a view of it?
Mm.
So it's a Geja posture which is giving me enough strength to move, swiftly to
Right.
any.
So from the posture, you're going into the movement to
Yes,
defend
Yes, yes,
yourself.
yes.
There is one more thing. The difference between Kalaripayattu and the other form is we don't teach them directly to fight. We don't tell them, okay, you're getting the attack. If you're getting hit or something, you block it like that, or you attack back. That is
Yeah.
not in Kalaripayattu at all.
I see. Okay.
Overall development, it is left to you how you want to block it. Once you are gained with all these postures, movements, the sequences, what we learn, there it's a random movements are taught. So you get to learn lot of movements, how better you can use your body in whatever situation it is. So when that situation arises, you can do, you can protect yourself the way you are excelled in.
Mm-hmm.
Your body to be controlled manner and the strength, you gain more strength, control, and your what else? The concentration.
Reflex.
It's a reflex. Basically, a reflex. It's developed in you by practicing this. This is nowhere that master would tell that student, okay, this is the way you can block. Because once he gains the strength, once he understands the movement, that is left to him to judge it. It is left to him.
So you're judging from the other side as well, if the attacker, what movement the attacker has and what do I do? And you're not saying block the movement, how am I going to use my muscles and my strength of my body
Yes, that is left to the individual.
counterattack? Okay.
I would recall a phrase, a famous phrase in Malayalam, Mei Kannaganam, that translates to when the body turns into ice. So there is a book which is authored by an American, Mr. Philip Sarali. He's a theater artist. You may know, I'm not sure. Philip Sarali, he passed away 2 years back. So he was a person, an American who has come to Kerala to learn Kalaripayattu 20 years, and he authored a book. The book is titled When the Body Becomes Ice.
Right.
So the meaning, it says that we are practiced to a certain level that
Right.
have ice all over the body. So that's the reflex what she was trying to explain.
Mm.
It's not like a predefined fight, like let's say 5 people come, I'll do this way, 10 people come, I'll do this way. We are taken to a certain level of focus and reflex that we get well with the situation.
So
So
your
it's
whole,
pretty much in the moment.
It's in the moment.
yes, your whole body is already prepared for it. So it's left to you block it or how you attack the opponent.
At a higher level, a Kalaripayattu practitioner would not even get into a fight.
Mm. Wow.
So that's how the tagline goes. We teach fighting, but not to fight.
I
He's
see.
spiritually in a position to smell danger and evade it. That's the ultimate intent or the purpose of fighting. I would say somebody who want to literally fight or make a street fight, they should opt for boxing or something else, or forms like that. So the purpose of this martial art form was never that.
Very interesting. So it's not like, okay, I'm attacked, I'm going to attack that person. I'm going to see how I can push
Your
this
mind's-
away and make it more peaceful
I
and
can
try to avoid that fight.
phrase you this way: the enemy is within us.
Yes.
The word Kalaripayattu has it another meaning. Kalari means Kala plus Ari. So that means kala means wheat. Ari means so cut the weed within you.
Yeah.
That's the idea of the practice. I guess that answers.
Yeah. So resolving the conflict in a different way, and that's very interesting that you brought out.
Yes.
And then the last two phases, you're bringing the sticks as well.
Initial practice is the long stick, which is 5.5 feet in length. So both the practitioners practice 5.5 feet length distance. Then they get into the short stick like that. I'll come back to that. You can use. There.
Amazing.
This is just a beginning of the long stick fight.
Right.
And they try to combat with that 5.5 feet distance. So you have certain level of fear within you. And next weapon they would be trying with a short stick. It is half a distance of a long stick. So you're getting even closer to the opponent.
I see.
So the fear is reducing within us again. After that, when we get into the metal weapon also, we get into again a close combat dagger or something. So that's how it elevates. Right? You can just have a look at this short stick. That's short. And there are other weapons like curved stick. It's like an elephant's trunk. It's a curve. That is mainly aimed at the vital points of the human body. Ocha, we call it ocha.
Yeah.
And then there is gada, the mace, which is used to fight. Wrestlers also used to use that. And all that. After that, the next, when we get into the metal, we go with the dagger, the sword and shield, the fencing sword, etc.
How long have you been practicing Kalaripayattu?
I have been practicing from past 4 years.
Okay. So you're on what phase are you now?
Third stage.
He is currently practicing the Angatari, that is metal weapons. He just started with the metal weapons and practicing on that now.
You don't move to the next phase until you are completely mastered the one before.
Yes, that's the traditional order of it. We get the process. The intensity also increases as the weapon goes
Like
on.
you have the black belt, that's the final, the same way you have.
In color, in same way in Kalaripayattu, it goes by the intensity of the weapon and the intensity of body movement. So as we get to each level, that intensity increases.
The body is so agile and so flexible. When you're doing the sticks, it's like so graceful and there's so much of dignity in this, in the art.
Yes, it is.
And that's why it's kind of, people think it's like a dance form. And most importantly, because you're trying to avoid that fight and be in the moment and see what can be done. So I think that's a very interesting point over here with Kalaripayattu that's brought out.
It's a beautiful philosophy that one who practices Kalaripayattu can manage any other obstacles in his walks of life. In life, it could be in his personal life. So he is sharpened to that level of managing things on a daily routine.
Do you have your students meditate before you start?
Before we handle each weapon, we do a minute meditation. Not only that, before we start each session, each class, we do chant. There are some certain chant which we perform, which we pray, and at the end of the class as well as the beginning of the class. So I think I can just show it to you. There is towards the southwest corner of the Kalari center, there is a putara. Can you see that? There is a 7-step towards the corner. Yeah, each step indicate each quality the student undergoes over the course. So let's say Vignesha, Chandika, Kali goes up like that. That means strength, patience, commanding power, postures, training. Those are all the qualities a student should possess as he climbs on. And it reads about Shiva Shakti, which is the supreme power there. So Namaskara, the prayer there, and at the end. So I think that gives us the energy to move ahead.
Have you ever had the chance to use this in real life?
If you ask me personally, that's a I can answer it this way. Maybe everybody will have a different experience. I got into Kalaripayattu out of a fight in the school days at the age of 14 or 15. That's where my parents put me to Kalari so that he can defend himself better.
Mhm.
And the wonderful thing is that the day I have got into Kalari and today, there are many instances while traveling where people try to rob us and all those things. A lot of issues like that where we could gracefully escape, not to win over them. We could gracefully safeguard ourselves and move on. That's the one. That's some of the instances I would like to say. And when it comes to fight, I had never got into a fight, physical fight or an assault. From the day I have learned this art form.
And that's
I-
like almost 20 years now.
Yes, yes, and that's there were instances where we could have literally handled things, but there is a certain power which keeps us moving and to a safer destination, and that's where we go to this art form. I don't think any other art form or martial arts, move us in such a safer zone.
Yes. Wonderfully said. How about you, Chethna?
Mine actually, no, I never came across any such physical assets. I mean, it's going smooth. Like, I enjoy practicing basically.
Right.
Never came across any such
Right.
instance.
And Augusta, you got some great role models. And you want to continue learning from Kalari Manoeuvre?
I continue.
We wish to pursue further learning. Currently, he is a college student. He is studying.
Wow. How old are you, Augusta?
I'm 18.
Oh, you're 18. Okay. And you also do teach online for students that are overseas?
We do conduct online for distance learning. We have a couple of students from US as well as from Europe who had online classes.
But is it
And-
very challenging because you really have to focus on their moves and how they're doing it?
It was challenging during the COVID period. That's the point where we started online classes. But as the time passed by, we could manage it, and students are able to learn it. That's something about it which we didn't anticipate at the initial phase, but it went on, and we are able to help them out. And occasionally they travel down to Kalari wherever they are. That will take care of the combat part and further progressing.
So like you have this place for teaching. So if the student has to learn, they have to have something similar.
All the students are assembled here for the.
No, when I'm talking about overseas students.
They are practicing at their home or in a playground or so, wherever they have space. And when they come here, they can stay here a couple of days and practice. This is the tradition which is moved on.
Or they can do it in their house, or they can do it outside.
Strictly speaking, traditionally, it is well and good to practice in an arena like this, which is four sides ventilated and enough sunlight is also passed inside. So there is a reason behind the construction itself, and that's scientifically done. It's well and good, healthy to be practicing Kalari arena than doing anywhere else. But it is fine if it is ventilated. Students are practicing at their home also.
Well, thank you very much, Chethna and Ramu, Madanan, and Agastya for sharing such a beautiful ancient martial art from southern part of India. And Kalari Manoeuvre, how many students do you have at this point of time?
We may have more than 150 students.
Are you planning to come to the United States as well?
I am planning to come down towards the month end. I think Ms. Veena Shetty spoke to you, right? So we have.
You're giving some demo workshops?
It's not a demo; it's just a lecture session.
I see.
Like it's an interactive session. So since I'll be coming alone, so there won't be any demo as such at this time for a demo in the future.
Well, thank you once again. Namaste.
Namaste.
I am Dr. Renee Mehrra. Thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy, stay positive.
Thank you so much. We have had such a good time speaking with you.
Thank you all. Namaste.